Hi and welcome back to VR Puppet Builds. Today I'm going to show you how to put these 30mm safety eyes on this puppet. In our previous video I showed you how to sew on this nose. So let's get started. These, like I said, these are 30mm safety eyes. They're quite large doll making eyes, but they're a really good size for this puppet. And what I need to do, where's a texter? What I do with my puppet is I just play with the eyes where I think that they'll look good. Okay, just move them around. You know, they're obviously not going to look good further apart. They usually look good better closer together than anything. And I pay attention to this line down here, just to make sure that that's even. When I'm happy where I have them, I just grab a marker and put a dot on the skin, put my eye back on, realign this one up so it looks in the same spot, or they look level. And then I let go of that one and put the dot where that one should go. Now I've got a couple of different tools here which I use to put these eyes in. This is called AWL, and it's used for sewing, dressmaking, and it's just basically just a long tool with a really sharp point on the end. And this tool here, you might see it is an old knitting needle, and what I've done is just sharpen the end with a pencil sharpener, so it's not pointy, but it's, you know, it's starting to bevel down a bit. And what I do, this looks really gruesome, so if you're a bit squeamish, turn away. But I just push this through the puppet's head, because that's got the foam and everything in there ready to go, and just give that a good wiggle around. And then I take my knitting needle. It helps to put your hand up in the puppet to do this bit, and push it through the foam. And then I just move it around just to get a nice hole for that eye to go into. Alright, push it in, grab the safety back and pop that into. Okay, and you got one eye on. Fairly easy. Just got to make sure, you know, if you've got your hand up in there, just be really careful with this. It's very sharp. Okay, and they're on. They're never going to come off, these eyes. That's the beauty about this puppet here is going to be a girl puppet. So what I do is I buy really cheap eyelashes, fake eyelashes, and buy them by the box load, and they look really great on these puppets, because I think it's hardest to make a puppet look like a girl, and I think the eyelashes is what defines a girl puppet from a boy puppet. Now I also bought piping or cording. It's got a cord sewn in there and then a flat edge, and I use this as the eyelid, part of the eyelid that defines the look of it. I find that really easy to use, which is going to be this part here of your eyelid. To start putting these eyes together, I've cut a 1.5 inch circle from my nestability dies. These dies come in really handy when you're making puppets and things like that, I've found, and I've cut that in half. With your clear craft glue, you'll need to use this to do the eyelashes, because if you put a hot glue gun near those eyelashes, they'll just melt. So you need to use the cold glue. Alright, so what I do is just sit that on the edge of this cord in here to make sure the cord's along the outline, which is sort of going to give it, you know, that eye-lined sort of look. And I quickly take it back off before it dries, and then just lay the eyelash down into that glue that's I've already put there. And while that's still wet, I'm going to reline that back on there. and I find that this has been the easiest way to put these eyelashes on. Now just use a ruler and put a little bit of pressure on there so that glue will take, and hold that down. Alright, and you want to trim this up so that it follows this curved circle here. Alright, and you have one eyelid with a lash on it. So for me it's easiest just to do a whole heap of these because I need to make eyelashes for another 3 puppets that are exactly the same as the first 2 that I've just shown you. So I've just gone ahead, like in a little production line while I've had all the equipment out, and I've made up my eyelashes all on the one piece. Just cut that off and sit that aside until I'm ready to use it. Now let's put them onto the puppet. Now I'm just going to use the cold glue again, because I don't want to get any of those eyelashes and wreck them. Now they're on nicely. So put the glue right up to the edge of that cord there. And just be very careful using glue with furry things because once you get glue on that fur, it's hard to get it back off. So you want to just be sure where you want to put this when you do it. Now to pinch down the corners of the eyes, this is where I do use the hot glue gun, but only a very, very small amount. And then I just hold that down. You can also just push your hand up into the puppet's head and add that little bit of pressure. Okay, you can see how that's sat it down nicely. And do the same to the other side. Okay, now if you do happen to get a little bit of glue on the skin, like I did here, just grab your sharp material scissors and you can just give that hair, that fur in there, just a little bit of a haircut. And that will help to tidy up the glue. Just be careful not to cut too deep, otherwise you'll cut through your material. But that's one way you can just fix little mistakes like that. Just make sure the scissors are sharp. Okay, and I've got rid of that little spot of glue there that was on the fur. Alright, so that's how I put my eyelids and eyelashes on. If you don't like this higher look, you can trim that down before you glue that on. I've done that before too. But that's my eyes. They're a nice length, the eyelashes, and they're pretty sturdy once they're on there. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial, and stay tuned for another one soon. Bye!